Hey everybody, it's Soger. Let's talk about how far you should be settling your cities away from each other. This is a question I see that comes up very often. There's people who are asking you, should you settle the minimum number of tiles? Should you settle six tiles apart? And they're wondering what is the best method to get the best outcome. Let me just stress right off the beginning, I play single player Deity, and my goal whenever I play the game is to win in as few as turns as possible. So I am playing for straight efficiency towards win type. I don't care about fancy numbers on the screen. So with that out of the way, my answer is you don't count tiles to tell you how far to settle a city. You settle your cities where they're going to provide the most the soonest. Like everything else, you want this decision to be paying off in 10 or 15 turns, not in 50 turns. So generally, this is going to lean towards settling as close to as possible to your other cities, because the faster you get a city down, the faster it's getting yields, the faster it's doing everything. But if there is another luxury resource, if there's a strategic resource you don't have access to, if there is a stronger district, if you just have to move like one more turn, where you won't have to buy the tile, then I would say 100% you want to settle further out. If there's a choke point where, like, say there's a single tile path through a mountain area, and if you settle there, you can claim a huge plot of land away from the AI. Yeah, you want to move a little bit further. But in general, you want your cities as close as possible because one, you'll be able to create adjacency on districts a lot easier by just piling them up, just getting them all next to each other. Two, it's fewer turns. It's easier to defend with loyalty, and it helps build a trade network a lot easier. And finally, the reality is there is no real benefit for having a lot of tiles in a city. People a lot of times I see will say, "Oh, well, you want to settle a minimum six tiles away so that your city can have all of its tiles." That is the most pointless argument I've ever heard. How often do you have a city with 20 population at any point in the game where yields matter? You have to honestly think this through. If you have over 20 tiles, which in the first two rings, you're already well into the double digits, you're already most of the way to 20 tiles. Like, how often, unless you're playing Khmer, does your city have 20 population? So why are you conserving all these tiles when you can just get more cities? More cities means more districts, which means more game winning yields. So more often than not, you should be settling closer. But I would say if you're settling further than the minimum number of tiles, you should be gaining something for it, whether it be access to a new resource, like I said, or even wonder tiles. But it has to be a good wonder. It has to be one of the top tier science or culture wonders for me to say, oh yeah, it's worth moving like four or five tiles. If it's Fountain of Youth and it's like after your second city, you're wasting time going to the Fountain of Youth and settling a city next to it. Just naturally move your cities that way and cluster cities that way, because it's just not paying off enough. Really, this is another situation where I get on turn 300 when all of your cities have 20 population, they have so much production and all of this, but what are you producing in those cities? You need your cities to get to seven population to get you the three districts, which is a trade district, your game winning yields district, and then an accessory district, whether that's an industrial zone, a holy site, or the off game winning yield for the victory you're going for, whether that be a theater square in the science game or a campus and a culture game. But that's three districts. That's seven population. So why are you planning your cities to have 20 population? All that's doing is eating amenities and stuff like that. So I guess whenever I really look at this, if you want like a hard and fast number, how far should you settle your cities apart from each other? Less than 14 tiles, because that is the distance a trade route can travel in the ancient era. So if you're going more than 14 tiles, you're going too far. But you should probably be in the 3 to 5 tile range of all of your cities. I hope this helped you out. This is once again, this is my opinion. If you enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching.